Hi, it's Mai here of the Vincent's Superannuation Advisory Team, and welcome to the latest video where I am answering your super questions. So I have had someone reach out and ask, could you please run through how the carry forward concessional contribution rules work? So let's just take it back a step and do a quick re-jog over what concessional contributions are. So concessional contributions are those that somebody is claiming a tax deduction for. So they're the pre-tax contributions. So this could be contributions made by your employer. So it's that minimum 10% super guarantee, or you might have salary sacrifice contributions going into your super fund, or you might also be claiming some super contributions in your personal tax return. That's what concessional contributions are. There are some rules around who can make them. So there's some age restrictions and rules. If you're between 67 and 75, you need to be meeting a work test and working 40 hours in a 30-day period before you make the contributions in. And rules that apply when you're over 75 in that you can only be getting concessional contributions for mandated contributions. So that's the super guarantee again of the 10% on your wages. Now, there are concessional contribution caps that do apply, which are limiting the amount of concessional that will be taxed and treated as concessional contributions. Now, from 1 July 2021, this increased from 25,000 to 27,500. Now, if you exceed this cap, what happens is that the amount that goes over that amount is added as assessable income in your personal tax return, and you then pay tax on it at your marginal tax rate. So from the 2019-2020 year, there's some new rules that have come into play, and that is the carry forward concessional contribution rules. And what this is that where you've got that, as I mentioned, concessional cap each year, if you haven't put in contributions up to that cap, you've got some unused balance there that's available, and you might be able to use those in the current year. Now, there are two rules that have to apply for you to be eligible to use this. The first is that your total super balance, that is the balance across your superannuation various accounts, has to be under $500,000 at the 30 June in the preceding financial year. And you make concessional contributions in this year that might exceed your current concessional cap. So the amount of the unused amounts that you'll be able to carry forward, it depends on the amount that you've put into your fund historically in the previous years, starting from the 2018-2019 year. You can use your cap from up to 5 previous financial years, but again, we're only able to do this from 2019. So from the 2022 financial year, so you've got the 19, 20, 21, 22. So it's only 4 years at the moment, but moving forward, it's going to be on a 5-year rolling basis. And what will happen is that when you're using it, it's going to look at the first year that's available in that 5-year period and use that up first. So unused cap, it's available for 5 years, and that's it. It's going to expire after that. Now, it is also important that I do mention that Div 293 still will apply to these carried forward concessional contributions. So it's something that you might need to consider if you've got income over $250,000 and you're planning on, making potentially $100,000 worth of carried forward concessional contributions, because there's some tax implications there. But let's look at a worked example to kind of explain this a bit more. It's probably easier to see the numbers to understand how the carry forward concessional contributions actually work. It's the 2022 year, and what's happened is that in the 21 financial year and the 20, Alex wasn't working. So in those years, didn't make any contributions, wasn't earning any extra income, had no money to put into super. So let's go back to the 2019 year when the carry forward concessional contributions actually first started. So back then, Alex's employer put $4,000 of super guarantee into her super fund. She had a balance of $195,000, so she was under the $500,000 cap, which meant that for the 19 year, she had $21,000 worth of unused concessional contributions. This is carried forward into the next year. So in the 2020 year, this is when she made no contributions. Her balance again is under the 500,000. So she could make contributions in the future of 25,000 plus the 21. So she's got 46,000 of unused. Similar situation in the 2021 year, no money to contribute to super, not working. So she's got the $25,000 concessional contribution cap from that year that's been unused, and she can add that to the $46,000 that's been carried forward from the 19 and 20 year. So we can see that for those 3 years, there's about $71,000 that hasn't been utilised. Now we're in the 21-22 financial year. Alex has returned to the workforce, and she knows that there's about $6,600 that her employer is going to contribute to her superannuation fund. Her balance in her super funds was $209,000 as at 30 June 2021. So she knows that for the current year, she'll have an unused concessional contribution cap of $20,900. So that's the general cap of $27,500 minus the $6,600 her employers put in. And she's got that $71,000 that's been carried forward from the 19, 20 and 21 year. Now she has some extra money to contribute this year. She's come into an inheritance and she's trying to decide what she could do with it. She was thinking about putting it into super to make up for those years where she wasn't contributing in the 20 and 21 year. And she could put up to $91,900 into her superannuation fund if she wanted to and claim a tax deduction for it. Now, the other key thing that needs to be considered here is she has to make sure that she's actually got the taxable income to offset that against. So it's really important that if you are considering using the carry forward concessional contributions, that you are talking to your tax advisor to make sure that this is something that is applicable to your situation. So if you wanted to check what your total super balance is, or you're wanting to see what's my potential unused carried forward concessional cap, you can log into your MyGov account and you go into the ATO section and you can look it up there. Alternatively, you can reach out to your tax advisor and they can give you that information and look it up for you and run through the tax consequences and benefits of using these carry forward concessional contributions. However, there are so many more things that you need to consider. They don't know your personal circumstances, your objectives, your needs and goals. So we do recommend that if this is something you are considering, that you talk it over with not only your tax advisor, but also a financial advisor to ensure that this is a strategy or something that is appropriate for your needs. So that's it in a nutshell, the carry forward concessionals and how it works. If you do have any questions, please drop them in the comments. We'll answer them.